very warm welcome. I'm YILDIZ from YILDIZ Readings. We're here to do the channeled messages for your zodiac sign month by month, and as the months progress I will be doing these weekly. You will get additional content throughout the month which will relate to the romance house, twin flame path, any astrological aspects I feel are important, as well as moon energies. So if you haven't clicked the bell, please click the bell. I do put all the info in the community tab so that you guys have the most relevant up-to-date information. If you're needing a booking, the information is directly below. Without further ado, please sit back, grab a coffee and enjoy. Let's get into the energy. Welcome back, beautiful Capricorns. We are here to do your monthly read. Now this is both psychic divination as well as the oracles. Now I am going to be tuning into this energy for you for this month and try and give you the tips and tricks to be able to handle it, because it is going to be a fairly busy month. It can feel at times like you have creative blocks, you feel like you're getting nowhere, but there is going to be some reciprocity, so please try and be quite patient with it. I do feel you guys are still having that residue energy linking to the full moon in Leo. Now those things that you're tying up, I have pulled a ruin, and the ruin that's come out does directly link to Leo. We'll have a quick tune into that, and then we'll get into the rest of the energy for the reading and the psychic downloads I have. Now it does correspond with Sunday. It also links to yellow. This year being a metal ox year, if you wear the color yellow, which can be relating to family, home, you know, anything that you want to co-create, as well as yellow and what was the other color, and white. It's going to purify your space, so anything citrine or clear quartz will really help balance you and manifest abundance. Now abundance appears to be quite a large energy coming through for you, but definitely romance and situations relating to connections and the bigger picture is coming through as well. If you find you're having blockages relating to this, now the sun is going to be entering Pisces on the 18th. So again, tapping into your psyche, looking at your psychology and some things that you're going to feel to do with your life and where you're wanting to go. But in the initial stages, last month was very heavy for you. With this ruin, it does link to success, vitality, good fortune and popularity. In esoteric, it relates to the higher self, the spiritual will, enlightenment, divine blessings. We do need to be very careful in the month of February to guard our treasures very close to our chest. And the interesting thing is you have Jade come up in reverse. This does talk about abundance. It also is linking to you keeping your secrets top secret, really sharing it with only the privy and people you directly trust. But there does seem to be a huge theme at the moment relating to recouping, regenerating energy, holding love very close to your chest. And there could be some subjects coming up in the first week of February that do relate to this. Now if you're single, this could be situations coming back from the past to be readdressed, to be smoothed out. I'm also seeing with the way you're coming through, I do feel your energy being quite fertile. So really be careful if that's something you're not really wanting to generate. However, there is a window gap between now and March where any co-creative energy can be coming through. Now, there's something that you're tying up, I feel, and it can be relating to home and family. It can be relocating, can be decorating and things to that degree. But I do feel whatever it is, you're really wanting to get that balance back in life, and you're wanting to come to a place that you're feeling more grounded, more at home. If there is an imbalance with the situation, I feel as though you're going to really be calling that out. And it can be one of those months where we can be quite verbal due to frustration. You've got, with the chakra energies coming through, I've pulled one week by week, and I've also connected them with your romance house, so I can give you an indication psychically of where the blockages are, how you're operating, what's flowing effectively and what's not. Now, number one, I would say do a higher heart chakra clearing. This in tune, away from the ego, from a psychic perspective, you're able to generate cash, you're able to attract high vibration love. When we have the lower chakras in balance, which could have occurred last month for you, because you're coming through with the yellow energy at the beginning of the week. This can be due to the fact that we had very heavy Capricorn placements, so it may have very well fatigued you. And there may have been things that, of that full moon, with this connecting in with Leo, that you're tying up those loose ends still. If there has been an imbalance and an injustice and people are calling upon you and needing upon you and you feel it's imbalanced, I do feel you're creating healthy boundaries. It's almost you disowning that of what does not resonate with you. There may have been some old situations that, you know, some of you, and it's funny because you've got, with the yellow chakra, calling your spirit home. Now, the woman in this, which is more, not necessarily that it's a male or a female, it's more to do with your feelings, your emotions. Moon energy navigates your emotions and feelings. And I do feel you're needing to tap out of white noise, have a little bit of space where you can have some time to sit with your thoughts and your feelings. And again, you know, to really tune into what's going to be the best course of action moving forward. I do feel by the second week, however, that you're really in that energy of getting things done. Now, yes, through this month, there can be a lot of tension, a lot of frustration where you feel you're not getting anywhere, but it is going to create creative solutions. It's almost like you'll be having epiphany moments. There can be deep frustration relating to people's expectations, needs, and belief systems. But again, I feel you're really starting to really take a turn where you're wanting to do things that you desire more so. As long as you're following your heart's desires, and, you know, this wealth energy, I feel you're directly taking steps with self-worth energy, with abundance, with getting things back on track again. And there can be some things that you're saying yes to. Do be careful at this time, however, you know, regardless of the fact that this is a psychic energy, it is Mercury retrograde. So really read the fine print, you know, tune into anything. And I do feel it's almost like I'm seeing an opportunity coming. Now, if it was something you were working on prior, it's almost like a free ticket to continue on with that. But yes, you can experience some adversity. If it is signing or anything to that degree, if you can delay, you may find more information coming to you and hidden scenarios. Because I do feel you're more inclined to say yes. This card's in reverse. And also you could have something out of left field coming. If you are single, this could be information coming from a love interest where they're coming in, they're wanting to see you, they're wanting to have a talk to you about things. And the direct connection, it's almost like having a break from reality. And it's not that this romantic connection isn't. It's just I kind of feel on the peripheral there's a lot of energy going on, but you're taking that time to actually make that contact and have that communication open. So you're taking a moment, which I do feel by the second week it may be much needed. By the third week moving through, I do feel, again, you do need to pay attention to diet, health, especially with the green energy coming through, higher heart chakra. Also be careful of any vices that we're using, you know, get health in order, get grounded. Because it's sort of like, I do feel you'll be burning that midnight oil, you know, a little bit to get things done. Whatever it is that you're really pouring your energy into, and I will tap into romance above in a moment. This could be a passionate connection. This could be somebody that you're very deeply interconnected with. You could be having dream states relating to them. If there's any regrets, I do feel your heart can be clearing, but again, balance the lower chakras, because at this point, even though it's upright, I am feeling there could be a little bit of a blockage. Now, it could either be overactive or underactive, but I'm feeling it's more overactive. So it's almost like try not to do anything or say anything that you may regret. Really think very acutely as to how you're seeing things, how you're feeling. Again, it is Mercury retrograde. We're moving into the direct by this stage. because I do feel there could be some regrets and there won't be any turning back. So just be really cautious, and everything's very divinely guided. But if there are regrets relating to, you know, something you did in the past and something not coming full circle, I do feel as long as you're passionate about it, it can be corrected. That's sort of what I'm seeing. So if you're getting frustrated and it's a business venture or a romantic situation, I do feel there's a soul clearing at the moment, and there is a heart chakra activation. But again, there can be a little bit of fear-based frequency or overactivity in this domain. So try and eat the orange food groups, which can kind of stabilize that. In a spiritual connection, it is the joint chakra. Again, this can be deeply activated, and it's almost like, you know, this being a 12, it drops down to a 3. If you're putting it forward, you'll get threefold back. If we're putting negative out there, we get threefold back. So it's sort of like the cause and effect of a situation. As long as you can balance that out, I do feel that should be fine moving forward. But just resist temptation. Try to not go into those lower frequency thought processes. If you're fatigued, really get anchored in, take time out, and quality control the diet factor. As we move to the last week, and this is where it does get interesting, and I do feel it's for everyone. Now, we do have the full moon in Virgo by the 27th, but I'll do the astrology and the moon energies later. But it does make sense because you do have the Chiron lotus flower. Now, this is higher heart chakra. Again, Leo related to heart chakra. We did have a new moon in Aquarius on the 11th. And now moving to the end of the month, we are having the full moon in Virgo, which can be health, it can be vitality, maybe a bit like a Venus retrograde. That's really what I'm feeling. It's like we got to the other side of Mercury retrograde, and for you guys, where you are in your auric field, I'm feeling you to be very depleted. You do need to pay attention to that. If there is any emotion coming up and it's needing to be cleared, or you're just simply not feeling like you're enthralled by a situation you're dealing with, I do feel, if anything, move through it. It's asking you not to rebel. It just may be showing you something very realistic in the domain, and I'm feeling practicality. I don't know why I'm getting practicality. I think after some of the challenges that you may have had during the month, assessing dynamics, looking at them, it can be that if you had been really doing something that you hadn't been passionate about for a long time, I do feel this month you'll have closure and, you know, sort of like that clarity, so to speak. But I feel it's more you're tidying things up. It's not a pleasure. It's not that fun aspect of something that you've been dealing with. But I do feel you're trying to be accountable, and it can be deep pressure relating to accountability. Because as the transits go, you know, we've got the polarity of growth and restriction, but it's more the responsibility aspect. So if you had time to quality system this and all the scenarios happening in your life, I do feel there's a bit of a shift, and I will pull a clarifier. Let's see what this is about, please. Because this feels the largest energy by the end of the month for some reason, and we'll turn into love in a tick. Although love has come through right through your read. Yeah, it's something you're not enjoying. There's something of a tedious nature that you're not enjoying. I do feel some of you may have news by the end of the month, and you may have had it and needed to have some time to absorb it. This could be information, and thus I did mention at the beginning of the month, be careful. You know, especially with the fact that I was seeing the energy of children. If it's something you're not wanting, be careful. This also could be information that is frustrating relating to work and things that you got to tie up the burdens and responsibilities on you. You know, really trying to move forward. Nevertheless, I do feel it is a temporary energy, and I do feel it's a healing of this situation. But potentially you may not be singing or dancing over it. And again, it is the lower chakras, so it can be sadness, emotions. Although you do have the green chakra coming up, it's relating to co-creative energy, I feel, from the beginning of the month to the end. It is shifting, but there can be some frustrations dealing to it. Now, it may be because you don't know how you're going to change something. And again, always, I'm kind of feeling sometimes we need to directly step back from the painting. So the visualization, it may be the solution's not on your side of the fence. And so there could be some delay as to what's to be. And 9 times out of 10, when it's really, really tense and you really can't find a solution, it's better to step back just for a moment. And 9 times out of 10, within 24 hours, a solution comes about, an epiphany moment, a door opens and things start moving. But it may be where you need to directly step back from the situation initially. Now, in the first week relating to love, it is quite passionate. Now, there is love, there is things that you are going to be tuning into. And I do feel you may hear from a friend relating to a romantic interest. There could be more communication when it does come to love. And again, you're looking at healthy give and take. There could be some plans that some of you are making. Now, that's be it. Oddly enough, my guides are showing me, be it you're together or not, there are plans coming through. There's a divine plan here. Now, by the second week, I do feel some of you may feel you're not sure where this is going. There can be some confusion. You may get swept up by the energy. As I mentioned, you've got the passion energy here, and the crowning energy for your romance is really, you know, a lack of faith. But it can be again perspectives, cross wires, misunderstandings, and maybe not having that bigger picture as to where it's going to go. If you can step back from it, it'll flow. But if we're trying to control it, could be issues could come. I do feel some of you could be split on the fence. Some of you, if you are partnered and you feel very unfulfilled and you're uncertain, there can be energies reigniting relating to past tense situations or future tense. Again, I do feel by the second week, some of you that are on the fence can be very confused as to what to do. And there can be for some of you situations that you're ending, tying up loose ends and moving forward. But there can be confusion, fatigue, and emotions coming up. Those of you that are waiting for this, yeah, there's a lot of fear, vacuum away fear. There could be fear relating to this. A lot of times when we do need to have that crown chakra activation and we're wanting to have that clarity, use clear quartz, try to drink more fluid. And, you know, having the clarity in the download, a lot of times it's more third eye blockages. So I would suggest that if you're misunderstanding or trying to comprehend it, maybe because you're looking at it too much. What do I mean by that? Sometimes when we're trying to understand what another person feels and thinks, and if the love is there, sometimes we can have the third eye where we're tuning in so much that we can't energetically allow the flow to come through. So I would say do a guided meditation relating to your third eye, and this should clear any issues. There can be fear, but there's great passion. Where there's fear, there's passion. So it's sort of like you're open to it anyway, but you're a bit protective of yourself at this point. There also could be some problem solving going on between couples or connections. Even if you are separate and you're tuning into this individual, again, I feel a lot of third eye activation, tuning into how this is going to be, what each would need to do to move this forward. But ultimately, I do feel by the second week, any tension points or confusion and plans that you're making, I do see that you guys are going to be working through it, tuning into it, and it's almost like universe is spinning some things to make those things move. Now, the third week, your chakras on both levels, both in your personal life and directly connected to your relationship sector. You do have the orange chakra. Now, I do feel it's very passionate. So this can be passionate conflict. It can be, you know, accepting the truth, liberating yourself. It can be aggression. Now, it does feel overactive, so just pay attention to it. This can be quite lustrous as well. So I'm just saying, you know, we've got orange on orange here. If you're wanting to have quiet time, and I do feel there is this intimate conversational piece going on, fears, passions, you know, hopes, dreams, I do feel, be it you're together or you're not, you're both energetically feeling the same. There is a decision I do feel you're faced with by this point, and I do feel this decision may be to, how do I put it? If there's old patterns coming up, I do feel you'll be able to work through them with cutting cords of old connections, but there's out with the old, in with the new. That's really what I'm feeling. But it is to do with blockages, patterns I do feel coming up. And really speaking the truth, I do feel a lot of heart-related conversations. But again, try and step back from the fear-based frequency. If you need to take a moment to assess it, it's better off to go into the 9 energy of hermit mode, so that direct communication flows effectively. You'll find after about the 3rd week, things should kind of plateau out. And I do feel you'll be moving away from the 3rd eye. You know, you'll really be coming to a resolve, feeling as though maybe if there had been conflict, I do feel moving into March, this can be readdressed and effectively transformed. But there can be some things that maybe you didn't know, information that was withheld from you. I do feel it can be coming to you sort of at the last moment. So really, if you're sensing that and if you feel things are missing, try and pause for a little bit, because I do feel there's something that hasn't been shown to you. Do listen to your intuitions, but clear the 3rd eye this month. Now, ultimately, I do feel this, this circumstance and this healing between this romantic connection is going to be balanced out. Also, when it does come to your work, the same situation will be playing out, sort of like the ebbs and flows in and out. And by the 3rd week, I do see maybe a little bit of, gosh, why didn't I see that? But again, it is repairable. There is communication that's going to come in, but I do feel sort of time to reflect energy. What else are they showing me? Yeah, it's almost like the download. Okay, I've linked the pattern. I understand where I'm going. I know what it is. And this can be meeting in the middle when it does come to spiritual connections and love. I will see you during the month for your updates. I will be coming to you weekly for your romance updates, very separately. I do feel you guys may have conflict when it does come to having patience with circumstances, and that's for everyone collectively. But you did have quite a hectic month last month, so you will be in recovery mode moving forward. And with Mercury going retrograde, it can cause tension points, so try and be patient. It is so that we can adjust to the age of Aquarius, plus to have that clarity of what we're actually buying into, what these circumstances are going to mean for us collectively. Now, the warning dates you may want to be aware of is the 6th. There can be tension when it does relate to relationships and connections, as well as your contracts. The 7th also holds that value. Now, on the 9th, we do need to really watch our emotions and our healing. And in the moon energy, although we will be having the moon in Aquarius, which is going to be a new moon in Aquarius, it is happening during Mercury retrograde. So there can be some frustrations on the 11th and the 17th. The 17th, you can feel as though you're not getting anywhere. So I'd highly advise that if that's so, there can be sudden changes that come in without warning, but with that, it's also going to give you clarity into, it's a bit like, when we don't have to work hard for things, it's almost like it's taken for granted. But if it's something you're deeply passionate about, it's almost like the universe is giving us a test at the moment. How much do you actually want these things? How important and relevant, and what are the circumstances surrounding them, so that we can tune into it effectively. Now, with the energy of Leo coming through with you guys, I do feel you'll be very strong this month, and I do feel you'll be very passionate and loving, and you will directly attract the same back. Love and light, guys. I will see you during the month for your romance reads and for the transits. Please join me next week. I do have more content coming. If you do feel this resonates, please click the bell and stay tuned for your romance reads. If you're a twin flame and need twin flame guidance, I come to you live during the month, and I also have the separate section that I coach should you wish it to be in a more private atmosphere. Again, if you are wanting a booking, the link and all the information is in the information box below. Have a wonderful week, keep safe, and I'll see you on the other side.